final preparations are underway for the big event at the University of Alabama. It kicks off at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central. Joining me now, NewsNation Chief Washington Correspondent and moderator of The Hill, Blake Berman. Blake, hello to you. Tuscaloosa looks like it's treating everybody pretty well. Leland was enjoying the barbecue. What's the mood like right now on campus as you walk around, you talk to students and staff and those attending the debate?
This is my first time in Tuscaloosa, Marnie. It is awesome. I'm a big fan of college towns to begin with. I've never been here. This is a great college town. There's an atmosphere around it. It's actually sort of like study week here on campus, so there's not really many classes going on. So some of the students are getting ready for final exams. But I find it interesting. There's an interesting parallel here. Inside Bryant-Denny Stadium, which is where Alabama Crimson Tide football team plays, there's a state championship football game going on tonight. So that's as big of a deal as it normally gets in the state of Alabama. But what we're really focused on tonight is what's going to be happening inside the Moody Music Hall, the music building, which is where we are right now on campus. And, the stakes really couldn't get any higher for these four challengers. I think that's the appropriate way to put it, right? Because they are the challengers to Donald Trump within the Republican primary. And clearly this is one of their last best chances to try to make a move and sort of say, look, this is going to be a one-on-one race as they get toward Iowa and New Hampshire. That's the way that they, I think, would hope to frame this going forward. And it's one of the reasons why tonight's so crucial, so important.
Yeah, it's critical. It's the way they have to frame it at this point. When you look at the math and some of the polling, there's no other way to look at it. A New York Times article, Blake, talks about Nikki Haley tapping into a base that even Donald Trump cannot. Moderate, highly educated independents and Republicans who don't support Trump. What is her campaign saying going into this main event tonight, this final matchup of the year?
Yeah, I mean, from Nikki Haley's perspective, I think what you're likely going to see is, there's two ways to go about it, right? Do you go after Ron DeSantis? Do you go after Donald Trump? The reality is, for Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley, one of those two you would think needs to emerge, right? So that they could, again, say, look, I'm the one ready to take on Trump in Iowa, New Hampshire, South Carolina, and beyond. So from her perspective, I think some of what you're going to see is her going after Ron DeSantis, trying to separate from Ron DeSantis. I mean, these two trajectories, Marnie, have been completely different, right? When DeSantis officially got into the race, he was polling in the mid-20s. He's now, according to our NewsNation Decision Desk HQ polling, at basically the same level as Nikki Haley, at 10%. She's gone in a completely opposite direction, and it all coincides with the debates, right? She was running in the low single digits. Debate season happened, and her arrow's been going in the other direction. But Nikki Haley, we've also seen from her in the recent days trying to frame Donald Trump as the chaos candidate, saying that chaos basically follows Trump everywhere he goes. That's been the tone of even her television ad buys in the state of Iowa and New Hampshire. So what I think you'll probably see from her is a focus on Ron DeSantis and a focus on Donald Trump, because frankly, any other moment that she focuses her attention elsewhere, I don't want to say is wasted, but it doesn't focus on necessarily what she needs to be focusing on at this point in time.
Yeah, I mean, I think getting to the point that you're also making here is that if Chris Christie and Vivek Ramaswamy don't have strong nights tonight, this may be the last time we see them on a debate stage. Their campaigns and the candidates themselves have to know that the margins are thinning.
Yeah, and as we talked about on the Hill yesterday with Sean Spicer, Sean was making the point that there's only going to be a couple tickets out of Iowa, right? We're a month away from the Iowa caucuses, Marnie. It's actually a lot shorter than that when you think about it, because we got the debate tonight, then there's a couple weeks before you get into the holidays, when most of America, frankly, just kind of checks out, and rightfully so, right? It's the end of the year, it's the holidays, it's the new year, et cetera. But then when you flip the calendar to January, bang, it's on. The Iowa caucuses are 2 weeks after that, and then after that, a couple weeks until New Hampshire. So it's, as I've been saying, it's not now or never, but it's clearly now for these candidates.
Right, and although it will be a room full of a lot of people from Alabama, they will be focusing much of their comments on folks in Iowa and New Hampshire. Blake, have fun in the hours ahead. This is exciting for NewsNation. It's a great responsibility as well. We'll be seeing you soon.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.